Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of our NASCAR My Career mode here on the channel. I hope you all having a great day. Today we take on the second and final road course race of the season from Watkins, Glen, and we had one heck of a record be matched last episode with Matt Kenseth picking up his fourth consecutive win, matching the modern era record alongside Jeff Gordon from 1998. It's going to be difficult for him to go 5 in a row, but never say never here at a road course as we come through into qualifying, where we had some breaking news this weekend as well. We just recently had the development of Kevin Harvick calling out his teammate Jeff Green after Jeff Green called out Harvick, and Richard Childress has stepped in a way more significant way than I anticipated, because he has announced that at the end of the season, Jeff Green will be fired from the team. He is not welcome to race at Richard Childress Racing going into 2004, and someone else will be behind the wheel of that number 30. Surprising news there. I expected some kind of, statement from Richard Childress, but I didn't expect him to fire a driver. So obviously, we don't know what the future looks like for Jeff Green, and we currently have no clue who's going to be behind the wheel of that number 34 next season. Nonetheless, I know where I'm going. Of course, we're going to Red Bull Racing here, but we still have a season to finish out with this Motorcraft number 21 team for Wood Brothers. And as we exit the final turn, down the front, straight away with a goal of a 112, we should easily beat that, hitting a 110, 121. And that puts us in P15 with Jeff Gordon on pole position. It's been such a terrible season for the 24 team. How about John Andretti in the top 5? Jamie McMurray up there as well, as he continues to impress as well as a rookie. And for Jeff Gordon, that's his 47th career pole. And hopefully for him, they can have a good day here and be successful as we're ready to go racing on Sunday. And, well, look at that. Jeff Green, dead last year in qualifying. I'm not one to spread rumors, but it is kind of interesting that RCR announces they're going to fire him, and then he's all of a sudden the slowest car on the racetrack now as we head into the grid Sunday afternoon. And how about John Andretti? Has been dominant all weekend, qualified well, practiced well, and he is up here with Jeff Gordon at the front of the field. So watch out for John Andretti, who starts P3. Kevin Harvick there on the front row with Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin to the back, engine change there in that Viagra number 6. Now for us, I'm confident we can put a very, very good day together here from Watkins Glen. Now, we, of course, had a great effort earlier in the season at Sonoma. Let's finish off the road courses strong. We're racing here from Watkins Glen. Jeff Gordon leads the field down into turn number 1. He's on the left side there of Kevin Harvick, as we'll just follow in behind the guy that's just won 4 in a row, the number 17 DeWalt Ford for Roush Racing there. Matt Kenseth, who's in the lead of this championship. We have seen this championship complexion really change, of course, over these recent races, and the 17 team has put themselves at the top of the board instead of the likes of Tony Stewart or Jimmy Johnson. But Stewart is very much still within reach of Matt Kenseth. And as well, we got to shout out the team members on that 17 team. We've got 3 members here in the Going Pit Crew that are actually on the pit crew here, and we got the crew chief of the Gaming Freak. You got Commander as the strategist, and as well you got Wild Child Elsner as the gas man for that 17 team. And they have been enjoying a lot of success lately here, putting themselves up towards the top of the member list in the leaderboard now. So yeah, as well, huge shout out to the pit crew members joining, hitting that join button and getting yourself to be part of the career mode lore. I am so thankful for your guys' generosity, and it also helps me get more of these episodes out on a higher capacity. So just a huge thank you to you guys now as we come through to the end of lap 2, and we're right here in the mix of a battle with the 38 of Elliott Sadler in that M&M's Ford, as we actually make a little bit of fender-to-fender contact on the exit of the final turn now, and you got Tony Stewart there just behind myself as well. Jeff Gordon continues to lead. I'm surprised that Gordon's leading, honestly, because he was on the left side of the track going into turn 1. Usually you're at a bit of a disadvantage now, but I can confirm into second is not even Kevin Harvick anymore. It's actually John Andretti now, as we are right on the back of Ryan Newman, Matt Kenseth here in P11, and then Terry Labonte, who's kind of holding us back a little bit there on that number 5. Labonte struggling for speed, and as we come through the penultimate turn here at the tail end of lap 3. Here goes Kenseth for a move. I'm going to try and follow Kenseth through, but he actually lifts right there, and I get into the back of him, do a little bit of damage to the nose of the car, and it's going to be just a bit of a slugfest here with these guys now, but we come through pretty well a full lap later at this point now, and we're still just behind the number 12 of Ryan Newman, and Kent is still trying to put some pressure on the 5, but Terry Labonte clearly not the pace he needs, but he's kind of backing everybody up, and here comes Tony Stewart to my right side as well. Stewart having a bit of a rough race so far. I expect a lot better out of him on a road course, but it's not quite showing up yet, but he's going to make the lunge into the final turn. He's going to pass us for 14th now, or for 13th. We drop down to 14th, and we would continue behind him here as we head into the bus stop chicane now, and look at these two going side by side. Newman on the left, Stewart on the right here. As we head through the sweeping carousel, you can now see Matt Kenseth has gotten in front of the 5 of Labonte and has quickly driven away as Stewart is going to get clear of the 12. We have a bit of contact right there with the 12 of Ryan Newman, but fortunately all is good as we continue on down the short chute here towards that penultimate turn. Going to let Newman kind of have the position right there. Didn't really want to take the spot from him that way. We are trying to clean things up quite a bit on track. We did have, of course, a late race incident last episode with Jeff Burton, but Jeff Burton accepted my apology and vouched to NASCAR for me for them to not take action, and said, hey, you know, it sucks, but we were just racing hard, and I can vouch for the young kid in this scenario. So we owe Jeff Burton, and if we can ever repay him the favor, we are absolutely going to do so, because keep in mind, as we finally pass the 5, we are on probation for the remainder of the season following our suspension a few races ago. And as we continue now into P12, I mean, we're not terribly far away from pit stops as well, as Jeff Gordon continues to lead over John Andretti's number 43. But you can see in front of us Tony Stewart and Matt Kenseth. They have driven away throughout the entirety of these last, 2 or 3 laps. And now we're just kind of, outside of Ryan Newman being just behind me, we're on a bit of an island of our own. And it's going to be interesting to see if we're going to get a caution. And Sonoma, we didn't really see a whole lot of action there in terms of yellow flags until late in that race now, but by lap 8, Ryan Newman has run me back down here into turn 1. We go a little bit wide on the exit of turn 1, big slide as well. We're gonna have to lift, and that allows Newman to slip through there in the number 12, and he moves into P12 there to match his car number. So we drop back down into the 13th position, and at this point now, seeing the 12 is just clearly better than me, he was starting to drive away at this point now, and you can see I am struggling a little bit here. The car is getting really tight, but then I'm having to crank the wheel so much that it kicks out the rear end on the exit sometimes. So definitely going to have to make some changes. Honestly, just need to free up this car a little bit, I think, going into the pit stop, which is now, we're only within a couple of laps of coming into the pits at this point now, and just waiting to see who's going to come first as we come through to lap 10. And you can see now Newman has driven away to a comfortable spot. So now we are pretty well officially on an island of our own. We've got nothing for Newman currently, and we've got zero pressure from behind. So I'm literally just kind of out here on my own, doing my own thing, trying to, of course, get a little bit more consistent with the lap times that I'm putting down, because they haven't been overall that consistent so far. And as we come through to lap 11, our fuel light has now come on, and you can see Newman has continued to drive away even further. That 12 is fast. He was fast in Sonoma. He won at Sonoma. He wasn't really the best car. He just, kind of benefited off of track position when a late race yellow came out and set some of the best drivers of the day behind, like a Robbie Gordon and a Kevin Harvick. Now coming to the end of lap 11, we're going to come in. Jeff Gordon and many others on the lead lap have pitted. Jeremy Mayfield still on the track, but we are going to take 4 tires and fuel, and we're going to make a wedge adjustment here down to 49.8, and we as well are going to put the front tires a little lower on pressures, and we'll get these 4 Goodyear tires on. It's going to be a 16.7 with a little bit of a repair mixed into the pit stop, and we'll wait and see another lap or so where we cycle out here. I say, we're around to the cars. We know we're pretty well going to cycle it exactly where we were, which is in 13th place now. Jeremy Mayfield putting together a very solid effort as well, but sure enough, as we come through to run the pit stop cycle through, Jeff Gordon's back out front over at John Andretti, and Ryan Newman has finally pitted. He comes out a lot closer to me than I expected, so by him pitting 1 lap later, it does bring him closer to me, but we know now he's got fresher tires. He's just going to continue to drive away. Now, there is an interesting development here happening throughout the middle portion of this race. So I am eventually honestly, I would drop to about 7 or 8 seconds behind the cars in front of me, and the gap to the cars behind me continues to grow. We got nobody near us right now, but the leader of Jeff Gordon and everybody else is starting to close in on lap traffic. It's hard to believe that, but it is happening. And as that happens, we know it's going to be a lot more difficult for those drivers to optimize their lap times. They're going to get stuck, and that's going to allow me to close in. Of course, not on Jeff Gordon. I mean, we will close in technically on him, but we're going to be able to probably close into the top 10 here once they get stuck in traffic, and that's going to kind of change the entirety of this race's complexion, at least now, as we're really pushing some track limits here through the bus stop here come lap 17. But look at the track map right now. You can see all those dots there behind Jeff Gordon. That's not lead lap cars. That's a mix of both lead lap and lap down cars. So this is where it's going to start. 6 laps of fuel left, and we're closing in. We're 7 seconds behind Ryan Newman, 8.5 seconds behind Ward Burton, who's having a great road course run here on that number 22. And you're going to see over these next couple laps, you can see them in the distance right there. Everyone's kind of packed together, and that is what you want if you're in my position, because when they're packed together, it makes it even more difficult for them to get through traffic. So over the next lap or two, we're really going to start eating into this gap on these front runners, and this is going to open up the door for a top 10. I have never been on this kind of, around, like, having no one around me. I've never had it to this extent before where there's just literally nothing around me. But sure enough, look at the gap. It's already down to under 4 seconds, and you can see those guys up there. We are about to be all over these guys here, closing in on the final 13 laps of this race here in Watkins Glen, and we are closing in on the second and final pit stop of this race. I could see this playing out like Sonoma. Sonoma went green, 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 and then we had a late yellow, and that changed everything. And it really does seem like we're getting that right here in Watkins Glen as well. As sure enough, come lap 20, we are here to the back of Jeff Green, who is slower than molasses. As we continue through the bus stop into the carousel, there you see Ryan Newman in P12. Bobby Labonte's up there. Matt Kenseth as well. I'm surprised Matt Kenseth is back here still with how much speed he showed earlier when he passed the 5 of Terry Labonte, but we breeze past the 30 of Green, and we're going to roll right up to the back of Newman, who's fighting with Jerry Nadeau, Tony Raines as well, and we're going to be right in the opportunity, right in the mix here to pass this 12 as we round the final turn. Obviously, with the pit stop looming, we want to pit once we're in the pit window. We don't want to pit a little bit early, but we also want to pit at a point where we can maybe skip some of this traffic and therefore give up less time than these guys like Newman and Kenseth and whatnot, and Tony Stewart up there as well. I can see battling with Matt Kenseth and Bobby Labonte, but we are actually going to be able to repass this 12 of Ryan Newman. I did not expect that, but we're going to get past him, and we're going to roll up right to the back of 36th place here. Tony Raines, this should be the easiest pass of my life. Just pull out to the right side of the racetrack, and sure enough, we'll just breeze by him. Jeff Gordon continues to lead this race. It is pure dominance from that DuPont 24 team here today, as we continue on now with rolling right up to the back of Labonte and Stewart, and then out of the carousel, taking it 3 wide with Labonte and Kyle Petty, another slow car, and now we're going to be alongside the Interstate Batteries 18 into this penultimate corner. It's been a very up and down season for Labonte's team, but we clear him, and now I'm like, okay, we got to think about pitting and wait till the exit of this final turn. You see Ward Burton's coming in, and Robbie Gordon as well. Stewart and Kenseth stay out. Fuel light comes on lap 22, and we can go another lap easily if we want to, but I'm looking at that big chunk of cars right in front of me that Kenseth and Stewart are stuck behind. You got the likes of Benson, I think I see Jeremy Mayfield. Nonetheless, you can see Kenseth and I believe Stewart are both trying to pit, but I'm going to pit as well. Actually, Kenseth stays out, so Stewart comes in. We're going to come in to avoid that clump of cars. That's really going to hurt Matt Kenseth's race, so we're going to take tires, we're going to take fuel, a slight wedge adjustment. Again, caution is out, and that is perfect because we are already in the pits. We can do our pit stop, and it's for Matt Kenseth in the 17. Smoke pouring out of the back. He will not win 4 in a row as Jeff Gordon leads over the 43 of Andretti, who's right behind him, but they are screwed because they have to pit. They're going to go behind all the cars that are currently in the pit lane, like myself, Stewart, McMurray, and Labonte at least. And now, can you believe this? We're going to cycle out to the lead of this race. We've been in position to win before. We were leading the Daytona 500 on debut late before a caution came out, and in the first ever season with overtime, unfortunately, we were the victim of that overtime. But now we're actually fighting for a win. Green flag is out, lap 26 of 32, and we talked about it. Late yellow and Sonoma changed everything and does it again. The luck is just not on the side of the 24 team. We clear Tony Stewart on the exit of turn 1. Jamie McMurray into P3, wheel to wheel with the number 20 Home Depot Chevrolet. And we're gonna clear Stewart up through the S's now. That was super close right there on the track limits there, just about going off track, dipping some left side tires into the grass, but we hang on. I was not gonna give that up easy now, because I know if I can just be in position to win this race and just have my car in front, I'm hopeful that I can defend. We know kind of the weak spot of this car is kind of on the back half of the track, which starts right here through this carousel all the way back through turn 1. Once we get out of turn 1, I feel like our car is really strong up the S's through the bus stop into the carousel, but like I said, kind of exited the carousel all the way through turn 1. It's just hard to do anything in this car, and sure enough, Tony Stewart, he's putting on the pressure here at the back half of this lap, and I am fighting hard. Stewart right on my back bumper, showing the nose. We're going to cover him off. We lead the lap here, lap 27, still 6 laps to go. Jeff Gordon and John Andretti, the two fastest cars here this weekend, stuck in traffic now as we stay ahead out of turn 1, really abusing the track limits right there, and actually still clear up that 20 now. In through the S's we go one more time, and Tony Stewart continues to just kind of be right on the back of us. He was running about 10th or 11th when that caution came out. He was right there with me when we pitted, and now all of a sudden we have of course advanced ourselves into the battle for the lead of this race. Bobby Labonte is well up here in P4 behind the 42 of Jamie McMurray, and Stewart continues to mount the pressure as we head up to the top of the hill towards the bus stop now, and we're coming to just 4 laps to go here on the end of lap 28 into the penultimate corner. A little bit wide on the exit, just getting a little bit too tight. That opens the door for the 20 into the final turn, and I just had nothing for him. Tony Stewart's going to get the job done. I gave it everything I had, and I just don't have the car right now. Tony Stewart's going to get us, and now we still have to defend over the likes of McMurray and Labonte. This is not going to be just a walk in the park for P2, and sure enough, into turn 1, you kind of saw the rear end kick out a little bit. That's going to send me way wide, and through easily goes McMurray. How about Jamie McMurray in this 42 car? What a rookie driver he is so far turning himself into now, as I know we're going to be fighting him for a lot of my career, I feel like now, as we would continue on in third. It's now Labonte and Harvick rounding out the top 5 as we are approaching the final few laps here from Watkins Glen. And if you're Jeff Gordon, I mean, all you can really do is just sigh at this point. I'm like, you know, is he even surprised? He should have won this race at least second if John Andretti had maybe found a way to get by him. How about the pace of that 43 this weekend as well? But obviously one late yellow is all it takes to change everything, and now here we are with Tony Stewart. He is going to fully capitalize on the misfortune of Matt Kenseth, and he's probably, if he finishes this out, he's going to take the lead of the championship. And as we approach now, just 2 laps to go, no one's got anything for this 20. I mean, you give Tony Stewart clean air and he's just gone. So we are now coming to just 2 laps to go. Jamie McMurray continues to drive away from myself, and I am really just still trying to defend over the 18 of Labonte and the 29 of Kevin Harvick in these final 2 laps of racing. Now Labonte shows the nose, but he's just not going to be able to capitalize on that, because we're going to have the advantage right here, basically on all the way up this hill. He tries to show the nose again, tried to stick it in there, but just didn't quite work out. I had that one covered now, and as we come through to the start of the final lap, you know, I mean, I would have loved to have won this race, but that was quite a out there, you know, expectation. And we, I mean, 15 laps ago, we're like, yeah, we're going to be happy with the top 10. And now here we are running in third. We led a few laps. I mean, we've accomplished a lot more. We, of course, obviously, let's be just real, we benefited massively off of timing of a yellow, but we're not the only one. Tony Stewart, I mean, this right here, right now, this, you know, shift in track position for Tony Stewart because of the caution to take him from 10th or 11th to the top of the board and about to win. This moment right here, come to the finale, could be the reason he wins the championship instead of a Matt Kenseth or a Jimmy Johnson, if Johnson can kind of get things turned around, as he's been on a bit of a slump here lately over these last handful of races. But Tony Stewart's going to do it. Through the final turn, the number 20, Tony Stewart's going to round the final turn, head down this front straightaway, and what a day. Career win number 16 for Tony Stewart, and the number 20 team with the crew chief of Cody Lucas and the tire changer of Christian Valentin. What a day for those guys, as well as they'll pick up their second win with this 20 team, as we have a P3 effort. Jeff Gordon ends up P8 over Andretti and Newman to round out the top 10. Johnson in 15th, Kenseth in 18th. His 4-win streak comes to an end right here in Watkins Glen. He couldn't quite set a new record. We'll have to just live with matching Jeff Gordon. Only one DNF. That was the number 4 of Mike Skinner. Let's take a look at the points. Matt Kenseth now loses the lead. He is going to be 13 points behind Tony Stewart. Harvick into 3rd over Jimmy Johnson. Jeff Gordon currently in 13th. Keep in mind, it shows me P10, but we still have to subtract those points from the suspension race that we had at the end of the season. And same for Kurt Busch. We have to subtract some points for when Carl Edwards replaced him on injury at New Hampshire. That's going to do it for me. I'll see you guys in the next one as we continue to get closer to the final part of this season. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
The fastest wheels in town, chasing glory, claim the checkered crown.